Ever have one of those mornings where everything turns sideways before you even get a full sip of coffee? That was me not long ago. And what happened that day? It taught me more about ego, judgment, and silent assumptions than any courtroom or college lecture ever could. It was a little after 9 a.m., sun climbing over the dusty edges of the Oklahoma plains. That peaceful stretch of time when the world hasn't quite shaken off its sleep. I was in my charcoal gray Volvo, dressed sharp in a navy blazer, running over notes for a talk I was scheduled to give later that morning in Coldwater. Topic: rebuilding trust in law enforcement. Irony incoming. I pulled into a rundown pit stop just off Highway 88. The kind of place where you expect the coffee to taste like burnt cardboard and the snack shelf hasn't changed since 1999. I walked in, nodded at the bored teenager behind the counter, grabbed a steaming cup, and stepped back outside, inhaling that bitter aroma. Then I saw them, red and blue lights painting the back of my car. A cruiser angled in behind me like I just emptied the register and bolted. No sirens, just presence. I placed my cup on the roof, took a breath, and waited. A door slammed. A stocky man in a brown sheriff's uniform emerged. Sunglasses mirrored the morning sun. His name tag read Deputy Kilmer. His hand hovered near his holster, not resting but ready. No greeting, just stared like he'd already made up his mind. "We got a report about a suspicious out-of-state vehicle," he said, monotone like he was reciting it from a teleprompter. I kept my hands visible. "Sir, I'm just on my way to a civic event in Coldwater. Here's my ID and registration." I held them out, steady hands, calm voice. Didn't matter. He glanced at the documents like they were blank paper. "Step out of the car." No explanation. No discussion. Just a command, and the kind you don't question if you know what's good for you. So I did. Slowly. Carefully. I stood still. I know how a tall black man in a suit reads to someone who sees threat before they see humanity. He started circling me. His eyes scanned my clothes, the clean car, the out-of-town plates. He barked, "Open the trunk." I responded carefully. "I don't consent to a search, sir. There's no probable cause. I haven't done anything wrong." I didn't raise my voice. I didn't posture. But I knew the instant I said it, I'd pressed a button. His jaw tightened. "Don't play lawyer with me," he muttered, then grabbed his radio. Minutes later, another car pulled up. A younger officer stepped out. Latina, nervous eyes, hands shaking slightly as she adjusted her utility belt. Her name was Reyes. Kilmer snapped. "Pop the trunk, or you're getting booked for obstruction." I tried to stay calm. "I'm just exercising my rights." That's when he dropped it. "You people always think you're above the law." I didn't react. I just stood there, still, respectful. But inside, my stomach turned. And that's all it took. He spun me around, twisted my arm harder than necessary, and slapped the cuffs on. The metal bit into my wrists. I said nothing. Across the parking lot, I saw someone holding up a phone. A college kid, maybe. Her brows furrowed. No shouting. No chaos. Just silence and a camera. He shoved me into the back of the cruiser. I sat there, suit crumpled, hands burning, listening as they talked about me like I wasn't in the car. "He thinks he's someone because of a tie," Kilmer scoffed. Reyes didn't say a word. Didn't even meet my eyes. That silence? That's what cuts deepest. Not the steel cuffs. Not the stares. But the way they act like you're not even real. My ID was right there. Clear as day. Government seal and everything. At the station, they didn't even read it. The guy at the desk glanced at my badge and laughed. "Right, and I'm the president." The rest chuckled. Like this was a sitcom, and I was the punchline. I stayed calm. "You really want to double down on this mistake?" They tossed me in a cell. No phone call. No explanation. Just 4 concrete walls and a flickering light overhead. I leaned back against the wall, closed my eyes, and cataloged every second. Every detail. Every insult. Every right ignored. Meanwhile, the girl with the phone had already uploaded her video. "City commissioner arrested at gas station." It spread fast. People saw it. People talked. And somewhere, someone with poll paid attention. Commander Brielle, Kane got wind of it. She reviewed the footage. "Pull my file." When she arrived at the station, her face said it all. Shock. Panic. Then the apologies came, quick and breathless. "Commissioner Hayes, we deeply regret." I stopped her there. "Don't apologize to me. Save it for the ones who never make it out. Kilmer tried to cover himself. Kane shut him down on the spot. You ignored ID. You escalated. You targeted him based on nothing. Reyes didn't speak, just stared at the floor, regret written all over her face. They let me go. I straightened my jacket, nodded at the growing crowd outside. Folks with signs, silent but furious. I barely made it to the auditorium. When I entered, every head turned. Governor Niles was already at the podium. He stepped down, shook my hand. I'm sorry, he said. I looked him in the eye. Be sorry for everyone who never gets a handshake after. Later that week, he called for an emergency oversight meeting. Asked me to lead it. Officers involved were suspended. Full inquiry launched. We called it the Hayes Initiative. Mandatory bias training, transparent stop reporting, and clear accountability protocols. Back in the courtroom weeks later, everything felt different. Officers sat straighter, looked me in the eye, like something had shifted even just a little. I spoke to a class of new recruits not long after. Told them, justice isn't about who someone is. It's how you treat people when there's no one around to judge you for it. Ask, listen, be fair. Afterwards, a young man came up to me, said his mom was a cleaner, his dad worked nights at a warehouse. First in the family to wear the badge. Thanks, he said. You showed us what courage actually looks like. That stuck with me, because maybe change doesn't come from shouting. Maybe it starts when someone decides to stand still, refusing to let go of their dignity, no matter what. So yeah, this happened to me. But it's not just my story. A camera was rolling. A few people paid attention. That's rare. Ask yourself, what would you do if you saw it happen? Ever been on the wrong end of someone's authority? Or maybe held the badge and faced a moment that made you pause? Drop a line. Share it. Let's be honest. Let's be bold. Because justice only changes when we stop looking away again and again, not just once. And if you disagree, say so. That's how we grow. Thanks for sticking with me. What happened to me wasn't just a personal wake-up call. It was a mirror held up to a much bigger problem. It showed how quickly respect can vanish when bias walks into the room, and how easily power can be misused when no one's watching. But it also proved something else. Accountability isn't a fantasy. It's a fight, and it starts when people speak up, record, ask questions, and demand better. This wasn't about a badge, a title, or a name. It was about dignity. And the truth is, real change doesn't come from headlines or hashtags. It comes from what we choose to do the next time it happens. Will we freeze? Stay silent? Or will we step up? That decision belongs to all of us. So if you've ever wondered whether your voice matters, this is your sign. Use it. Justice isn't a system. It's a choice we make every day. Because every time we choose to stay silent, we allow injustice to settle deeper. But every time we speak out, we chip away at a broken system. Keep questioning. Keep watching. Keep showing up. Change doesn't wait. It moves when we do.